I just said that. Well, anyway, one master key is missing and someone may have it. Ah, Goda again. That probably is actually true. So powerful. How the culprit will escape? Everything depends on what red truths we will get. Goda reasoning is still valid. Kiria, you are wrong. She actually agreed to that. You are kinda on the bad floor. There's no way that Natsuki would know. Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Umineko Chiru. So yeah, I gave a little thought about like previous episode, and I want to clarify my statement from previous episode and just to let you know 100% what I will be doing in the future on streams and stuff regarding theories about Umineko, because so far I watched about Umineko cases as separate stories that have something in common, and it's still true, but I have a feeling like I said in the previous episode, that the cases we should not watch at them and see the culprit. There can be different culprit in each episode, to be honest, because I will try and do an approach of one true case which we don't know about, and every single question arcs, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and now episode 5, they're bugs full of hints, and basically they're just combining together and showing us the true road that is supposed to happen. And I think I will try that approach in my future theories, instead of making them being separate stuff. I will probably still do separate stuff theories because they are fun and they give me better view of the world building and stuff, and on overall theory. But yeah, ultimately I will try to make one single theory in the future. So yeah, that will be it, and I think we can start the episode. But before that, I want to give special thanks to my channel members, of course, because they're supporting me for a while now, and I'm really thankful to you, and I just I still don't know how I deserve it, but thank you. Thank you for finding me worthy, and I hope you like your early episodes. And yeah, you can join the memberships as well. Just click the join button and check it out. Also check my Discord, because we're talking about stuff. And theories. And I have on Discord we have actually the channel where we have the theory making streams that we had for question arcs. So if you want to full VODs for them, then they're available for Discord people actually. They're this is unlisted playlist basically on YouTube that no one can see outside of access from Discord. So this is our little secret stuff that anyone can join. So yeah, let's just go. Let's see what will happen in Second Twilight now. I can't believe he expects me to sit in the darkness for a full hour, listening only to the wind and rain. Ironically, Natsuki had made Jessica do the exact same thing in the past. She had done it, scold Jessica persistent bad habits and teach her a lesson when she was a little girl. She had thought that making Jessica stay put in the darkness would sprout the desire to reflect on her mistakes. And that, this way, she would understand what she had done wrong. I wonder, what if the person from 19 years ago knows about Jessica and how she treated her? And he's especially doing the same to Natsuki now. Huh. To Natsuki, it almost felt like she was being made to do the same thing. I just said that! If that was the true purpose, or if that was the true purpose of this hide and seek, this must be naivety. That must be the naivety, the hope that if this goal is to make me repent, nothing will happen here during this hour. Uncertainty and fear of that man's shadow are not what I need right now. Will someone suddenly come to this room, open this closet, and do something horrible to me? Now that I've come here in total secrecy as promised? That's what I should be worrying about. The culprit, or one of his accomplices, is very close by. If there weren't, they wouldn't be able to observe me so fruitfully. I don't want to think about it, but it's highly likely that the culprit bought off one of the servants. Like Goda? The culprit was able to hide an Eerie card with an autumn written on it in my room. Yep. And was probably closed, yep. My personal room was locked. So the culprit must have the golden key. I mean... the master key, sorry. Also, we need to remember, actually, I didn't thought about this in the previous episode. I kind of forgot about this. Like, Genji is missing. Like, his body is missing. I forgot about this. I didn't give a thought about this actually in the previous episode. I instantly thought about Goda for some reason. Because he's like... it's Goda. I don't know. But Genji is missing and his master key is missing. So anyone who's alive can have access to the master key. We just need... I didn't like went back and see like how they could miss. I mean, I confirmed being dead, right? Oh no, there wasn't red. There was no red about this. So someone might be alive. Maybe Genji is actually alive. Maybe he faked his wounds. Well, anyway, one master key is missing and someone may have it. So maybe I'm wrong about Goda. I didn't thought about this actually. My trick wouldn't have been possible without key. Instead of believing that they obtained the key when the servants weren't looking, it's much more realistic to assume that one of the servants led the culprit's hand. Yeah. The thought that Mystery Man might be peeking into my heart sent goosebumps running across my whole body. It's true that I like autumn, but I've never said it out loud. I don't think anyone ever asked me either. I could even ask my husband what my favorite season is, and he would probably be stuck for an answer. No. There was one time I told to a single person, okay. Time for reveal? That's right. Shannon. I mean, Shannon is like one of the most suspected people from question arcs, so it still works with Shannon? I'm like suspecting her like for many things in question arcs. Oh my god, I have like some... What the fuck? Sorry. I had like some like weird bug, like flying around. What the hell was that? And now my monitor is dirty. On an autumn day long ago, I happened to be in a good mood, and I mentioned that autumn was my favorite of the 4 seasons. I can't believe it, that the culprit, or one of their accomplices, has to be Shannon. Not necessary, I mean, it works like that. It could work like that. But she could just tell that to anyone else, so that could spread along the servants anyway. It's not like she had like any obligation to keep it like as a secret. Natsuki never told her that's a secret, so... Even though I suspect Shannon for many things in question arcs, and she probably has something to do with culprit, then... It could be like anyone, like, realistically speaking. As I said, it's not a clear proof. She could just tell this to anyone. That's not how it works. I trembled and shook with rage. Didn't Kinzo say that the emotion of anger is the fastest sedative to cure fear and uncertainty? It's easy to tell the most fearful humans from within the crowd. They're always the first to get angry. I remember him telling me that. So I realized that his anger was a sign that I was actually frightened. And I tried my best to remain calm. However, this is a fascinating clue that I can use to turn things around. Yeah. Sharon may not be reliable as a servant, but if she's the accomplice used by the mystery man, that might actually be convenient. She's a timid girl. If I threaten her, she'll probably spill the name of the mastermind in an instant. I will tell the police about this in secret. I'm certain it will be a big clue that will help in arresting the culprit. I know, like, Natsuhi reasoning here, and it makes sense, but still, I will stay with my own thoughts that she could just tell this to anyone. Yeah, I suspect her as well, for a very long time, but drastically speaking, anyone could be, like, talking to Sharon, she could tell that to them. Okay, we have red for Natsuhi now. Umineko is breaking even more rules. Great! I never told anyone except Sharon that I like Autumn. Okay, that doesn't change stuff. Sharon could tell this to anyone. This is unshakable proof that she's working with the culprit. Not really. She can be uninvolved. She just like told, hey, did you know that let's do this and this dish for today dinner? Because Ms. Natsuhi likes Autumn and it will like taste like Autumn, basically, you know, Goda? Ah, Goda again! And then he knows that she likes Autumn. Though, I would thought its time in the closet would crush me in the uncertainty and uneasiness. It had actually given me the start of a counterattack. If I hadn't been given this time in the darkness, I probably wouldn't have noticed this. I felt almost grateful to the culprit for making up this foolish game. My mood brightened. I still couldn't guarantee that my husband was safe, but I was determined to take him back and force the culprit to face judgment. Also, the culprit could just like predict that she will accuse Shannon, so that would indicate that Shannon is actually innocent. And basically, he just like want to take her off his tail. I gripped my fists tightly and further strengthened my resolve to avoid losing this fight at any cost. Oh, someone's entering the room. At that moment, I heard the sudden sound of someone trying to force a locked door open. And my heart leapt. Oh! Hideyoshi! The victim of Second Twilight. The voice was Hideyoshi's. I heard a quiet voice, as though he was talking to himself, coming from what was probably the hallway. Apparently he had thought it was locked and tried to unlock it. But he ended up locking the unlocked door instead. Once again, there was the sound of the lock turning, and this time the door opened with a faint sound. Why? Why is Hideyoshi sound in this room? Footsteps, which sounded like his came in, and there was the sound of him closing and locking the door behind him. Then came what seems to be the sound of him setting the chain. Don't tell me Hideyoshi-san is the mastermind? Or else, An accomplice? Is he planning to do something to me in this room? The door may be locked from the inside, but it will still take some time to remove the chain. If Hideyoshi-san doesn't intend to let me escape from here, there's no chance he will give me time to fumble around with the chain. In that case, when he opens the closet door wide in just a moment and looks down upon me sitting here pathetically, just what kind of horrifying words will he say? I don't want to be found. I don't want to be found. I beg you, pass right by the closet door. Please keep going into the center of the room. My head was filled, almost to burst, with a troubling sound so loud that I almost missed hearing his noisy footsteps. So when I heard the clunking sound coming from the center of the room, I finally realized that he would pass by the closet and was deeply relieved. Okay. Just in case what? Okay. As he muttered, he did something that made a clanking sound. He was probably closing the shutters on the windows. Just in case? Yeah, like what? In case I try to escape out of the window? No, that can't be it. That's right. On the parlor, everyone was talking about possibly taking a break. After all, several murders had occurred. And the weather was bad. Oh, just in case if someone tried to like get to the room through the window. So he's going to sleep actually. There would be nothing abnormal about resting in a guest room here instead of returning to the guest house. In that case, locking up and closing the shutters to guarantee safety was the proper course of action to take. See, this is the situation that I thought that would happen like back in like few episodes ago when we had like this when the man on the phone told Natsuki to hide in the closet. Like I said, that it would be very easy to accuse Natsuki for that in this situation if Hideyoshi dies in the room where Natsuki was hiding. Even if they don't find her, then she will like... She's not in her own room, so it's suspicious itself. When he finished closing the shutters, there was a tongue as though he had flopped over the bed. Also, how Hideyoshi died then? Natsuki should see that, who killed him. This is the perfect opportunity to see the culprit or accomplice. Because the tip menu, I remember, said that it's unlikely, it's actually unlikely that was a suicide, so it still could be a suicide. For some reason, I don't know why he would do that, but... I was surprised how much of the situation could be grasped just by the sound. What's going on here? Did the man from 19 years ago plan all this out to put me in the same room as Hideyoshi-san? No, that probably isn't true. That probably is actually true. Clearly he planned me hiding here. But Hideyoshi-san coming to take the rest here must have been outside the scope of his plan. Not really, if he's inside the mansion as he claimed. Then if it's the servant, then he, like Hideyoshi was like saying that he's tired and he's going to guest room, and the servant would be like, oh no, wait, there's a room that you can actually use and be safe, and just go there. You don't have to go to the guest house like in this rain. Thinking about it that way, having him in the room might help to secure my own safety in an odd sort of way. Unlike his wife, Hideyoshi-san is the kind person I can talk to. If Eva comes, things will probably get complicated. Maybe I should slip out of this closet now while he's still alone. Reveal everything just to him and ask for help. But if I do that, my husband might be killed. It isn't wise to do anything rash until my husband is released. Should I go out and talk or hide in here? Moaning from headache and biting my lower lip, I resisted The temptation to climb out there. Email I took to Hideyoshi-san. I don't know where my husband is being held. I'm sure the informant who is observing me is nearby as well. Just talking to him won't solve everything. I suspect that Shannon is an informant. But that doesn't mean that Goda and other servants aren't. She mentioned Goda! I swear like Goda have like more and more flags on him. Like in most of my like theories for question arcs, I mostly put like suspicious on like Nanja, obviously, Shannon and Goda. These three are like my main suspects basically in this game. In this whole game. There's also Jessica. It's like less kind of shot. She could like be an accomplice, but the only reason why I think that is because she looks like Beatrice. And the episode 4 when... and episode 3 actually, episode 2 actually as well. Like the uniform that Beatrice is using as the human looks similar to what Jessica is wearing every day. These are like basically the only reasons why I think like Jessica could be with culprit, but not really. It's hard, but like Shannon, Goda and Nanjo were the main suspects. Nanjo had like very weak alibis as well. Nanjo died in the episode 3, true, but it might be his accomplice who killed him, you know? It's not necessarily saying that culprit cannot be killed by his accomplice. It's no good. Living here and confessing is just too dangerous. Eventually, I hear a strange, sobbing voice. Whose voice was it? I strained my ears trying to hear that strange voice. And was shocked to discover that it was Hideyoshi weeping. Oh, Hideyoshi's crying? Oh, right! Right, George died. His son is dead. Probably like the whole burden from the whole day. Adrenaline just stopped rushing. He's like alone in the room. And he can finally cry for his son. Oh my god. Now I'm sad. Now that he was all alone like this, Hideyoshi, who had lost his only son, was finally able to shed tears and cry. Thinking that he needed to support Eva in her distress, he had acted as though he alone was standing firm. However, the soundtrack. I don't know if you can hear the soundtrack because probably it's Die or the TS and I will have to like deal with this somehow. But this is beautiful. So powerful, like opera singing. Damn. However, he had a good right as anyone to cry. And now that he found a place where no one could see his tears, he was finally allowed himself to let it out. I've lost my daughter too. I haven't seen her body with my own eyes, so that still doesn't really feel like she's dead. But if the one who carried her off was the culprit, and he had some repulsive motive for doing it, just thinking about it makes me feel as though my chest would tear itself apart. The reason I'm hiding here now is that I'm thinking more about my still living husband than my dead daughter. But if I were given the chance, I would be wailing at the top of my lungs too. However, I still can't let myself do that. That isn't because a man from 19 years ago told me to hide. It's because I'm the final head of the Ushiromiya family. The numbers. The numbers. The numbers. The numbers. No one talking about these numbers. What are these numbers? There's no way there's just like random like gold, like proof stuff. I don't know. There must be something in this. It's been completely overshadowed by all of this. But last night, Butler Cool found the hidden gold and even gained the head ring from that mysterious envelope. At the very end, when it's all over, I probably won't be able to prevent him from inheriting the family headship. And when everything regarding the distribution of inheritance is revealed, the Shinoya family honor and glory passed down from father will plummet to the earth. So, I am the final head. Butler-kun will probably inherit the remaining wealth of the Shinoya family. However, its history and honor will all end with my generation. Therefore, I am final head. I must not cry. Not yet. Until I get my husband back and avenge my daughter, I will not be allowed to shed tears. As I listen to Hideyoshi's sobs from the closet, I silently hung my head. Whoa! Someone entered the room somehow! What? Huh? My heart leapt. Hideyoshi-san, who must have been lying prostrate on the bed, made a sound as though he had bounded to his feet. Did he notice me? Say the name! He was clearly in struggle with someone. Who could it be? No, it doesn't matter who it is. It's probably the culprit and they probably trying to take Hideyoshi's son alive at the very moment. Shouldn't I jump out there and help him? Even if I couldn't help him, I could at least call for help. No, but if I do something like that, I'll be questioned about why I was hiding here. Well, if you get the culprit, it doesn't matter. You can just say that because you were threatened. If you get actually the culprit, then your husband is safe. However, if Hideyoshi-san goes on to get killed now... No, now it isn't the time to be saying that. At this rate, he will definitely be killed. I will jump off here and help him right now. But if I do this, even though I can save Hideyoshi-san, I might be abandoning my husband's life. Hideyoshi-san's life and my husband's life. How sinful it would be to try to weigh those against each other. Just then, there was a loud sound of the door opening and the chain being pulled tight. Someone was trying to open the door, despite the chain being set. Yo! This is intense! How the culprit will escape? What's happening? There's one possibility I can think of right now, without because we don't see it. It's again the situation with the blind spot situation. We don't know if he's actually struggling with someone. He might be the one of the informants and he knows that Natsuki is in the room. And he's like playing basically being the victim and he just acting like he's like being stabbed and everything. And Natsuki just hears that and she thinks that there's a culprit that will like disappear suddenly. That's like the valid blue truth, I guess. We just need to like see if like he actually dies. Eva is definitely like in the distress. And she's like trying to call for help. Unless Eva knows this as well. And Eva is in this as well. And George is in this as well, because George wouldn't die if they could. Okay, I need to like stop doing this because soon like no one will die. And that's not how it works. She opened and closed the door over and over again with all her might, but of course she couldn't snap the chain. Iva-san raced down the hallway, calling for help in loud voice. By this time, the room had settled back into silence, and that eerie feeling of Hideyoshi being a noisy struggle had disappeared completely. What's going on here? So right now, I'm in the same room as the murderer who killed Hideyoshi-san? In that case, the culprit should try to escape from this room as soon as possible. So why are they staying so quiet in here? Because there's no culprit probably in this room. I haven't heard anything. Nothing that might have been the culprit who attacked Hideyoshi-san rushing away. No matter how much I strain my ears, I can't sense anyone in the room. In fact, it's so silent that it makes what happened just a second ago feel like an illusion. In other words, does this mean the culprit is holding his breath? Standing right in front of this closet? Waiting for me to shamelessly come out? All culprits can also hide in this room. Unless they like check this room and they will not find anyone and will like confirm this in red. I don't even know what to be scared of anymore. If only I could just melt away into the darkness of this closet. I mustn't remain in this room any longer. I get the feeling I have more to worry about than just my personal safety. But what should I do? I don't even know if it's a good idea to leave this closet. Before long, the clamor of many rushing footsteps approached. I held my breath again and melted away into the darkness of the closet. Yeah, if they will like search this room, then they will find Natsuhi indefinitely. Eva dashed back, bringing everyone with her. Goda was gripping a bolt cutter. It was to cut the chain with. After trying to open the door again and confirming that the chain was still set, she yelled through the crack in the door. Goda stuck the large bolt cutter, which looked like it would slice off the whole fingers, into the crack of the door and easily sever the chain. As soon as it was severed, Eva pushed Goda aside and dashed in. The others tried to follow her, but they bumped into Eva, who had fallen to her knees moaning. So even though they couldn't tell much of what's going on inside the room, they could tell by Eva's moans that they were too late. Everything depends on what red truths we will get. Because I can safe assume right now that he is alive and he's just like faking this. For now I can just like say that. It's totally valid. Yeah, checking the places. I'm starting to wonder if I need to go back to episode 1, Second Twilight. Could there be someone who was hiding? I don't remember the red truths now. Just like Natsuhi's doing now. And she could just like leave the room while no one is looking and then pretend that she was never inside. I need to check that. Nanja stood up, hanging his head sadly. It was only natural, because anyone, even if they weren't a doctor, would think that at the glance. Think that. Hideyoshi was laying face down on the bed, and stuck deep into his back was something like a blade with an intricate demonic design on it. Yep, the stake. When Eva pulled it out with all her might, could tell that it wasn't a blade, but some kind of stake. And its sharp tip had penetrated nearly 15 centimeters in. It probably dug deep into the lungs. If it had been struck in any harder, the tip might have been pierced all the way through the surface of his chest. How do you know how far it went? Probably by the bloodstains on the length of the blade, I guess? I mentioned it before, like in my random like talking before, but there is actually possibility, like if there's like no red truth about specific person being specifically dead, there's a like way to fake the stake inside the head, even that. Because if the stake like is constructed in a way that it can like contract its blade, or like in general it can contract, then all they have to do is just like stick it into the head and make a blood everywhere and stuff. And if the one who's like actually helping the culprit, if they take out the stake, the blade will like retract, the bloodstains will be there, and of course blood will be like fake blood everywhere, and they can say that it was that deep. He's dead. It's like, I would say that's totally valid perspective for anything that's like not specifically said in red that they're like actually dead. Like the specific person is actually dead at the time. Pretty much. You don't even question how he killed him and managed to escape. What's more, in a plain view. Yep, good job, Kyrie. First to notice. So the culprit must be inside. And sadly, Natsuki is hiding in the closet. That's the worst alibi ever.
確かに鎧戸もすべて閉まってますし、扉にはさっきまでチェーンが。
それはおかしいではありません。それじゃ犯人はどうやってこのお部屋の秀吉様を襲ったというんですか。
Obviously hiding inside.
扉の隙間からこの杭を投げて刺したとか。
Valid, it depends on how body lies, but actually.
その隙間から秀吉さんのベッドは完全に死角よ。
Okay.
銃を使ったって殺せやしない。
But what if? Okay. 1 second, Kyrie here. Gotta have a point here, actually. Because the bed is on the blind spot. It doesn't mean he couldn't be hit elsewhere. Like, he could be hit through this crack, and then he could be still alive. He could get hit on the back, and he could be still alive. And he was like, just like, you know, like in his like last moments, he was like, talking, like walking, and just fall down on the bed. You know what I mean? It could be that. So, Goda reasoning is still valid. Kyrie, you are wrong. This time. So, like, that's bizarre, but I will say that Goda wins here against Kyrie. That's bizarre.
密室殺人。
密室殺人。
そうと決めつけるのは早いぜ。風呂場の天井を外して天井裏に逃げたのだ。あるいは鎧戸が実は外からでも閉められるとか。
Okay. Butler also have good ideas. Hi, Erika.
外からはびくともしませんでした。
Okay.
今確認してきました。
ウリコ。
Ah, it was no wonder everything felt so quiet and relaxed. At some point Erika had split from the group. Just now, she had finally arrived and poked her face in from the hallway. She had heard that the crime had occurred in this room. She had everyone rushing towards it and taken the opposite approach by circling around the outer wall. And she had gone all by herself to check that the shutters were down on the windows, that you couldn't do anything with them from the outside, and that there was nothing out of the ordinary.
室内は案の定お約束で。
Yeah! And you like the closed room cases, it seems, so... Also... I don't know, I will probably ask this. Yeah. Because we know by the Red Truth and by like Crook's rules, I think, and there is like one other guy that I don't remember the name that you guys mentioned before. Sorry, I don't remember like all the names about like mystery stuff and stuff. Like, there can be only one detective apparently in the story. In the mystery. And we saw in the red here that detective cannot be a culprit. But can detective be the accomplice to the culprit? Like, it doesn't make detective to be a culprit per se, right? It just makes the detective to helping the culprit. Does it change stuff? Is it allowed by the rules of the mystery? Let me know in the comments. I wonder. Because in this situation, if Hideyoshi is indeed faking, and she will be checking it out, and she claimed that he's actually genuinely dead, then if Hideyoshi is actually alive, that would mean they work together. Even if she's not a culprit, the real culprit, that means she still helped someone from like culprit around, you know? I don't think it's allowed in the mystery genre that detective is like anyway associated with the culprit in any possible way. I don't think it's allowed, but just to clarify this, just clarify this for me in the comments, please.
そういう言い方はねえだろ。
お悔やみ申し上げます。で、室内の状況は？
Okay.
扉にはチェーンがかかっていて、私たちは切断して入ったわ。
そして窓にはすべて鎧戸。しっかり内側から施錠されてる。
奥は何を揉めてるんです？
Okay. Eva was arguing with Nanja about something. Apparently she wanted to carry the body to the parlor. Nanja tried to calm her down, saying that they should leave the crime scene as untouched as possible until the police came.
ジョージたちの死体はそうしたらどうなったの？
They disappeared!
犯人にどこかへ持っていかれちゃったのよ。犯人は殺すだけじゃ飽き足らず、遺体にまで何か無体なことをするつもりなのかもしれない。
See? Okay, I'm now like for this episode I'm kind of I know I'm kind of sticked into this, but I'm kind of stick to the theory that Hideyoshi is alive. So now when you think about this, like Eva wants to take Hideyoshi out because she's aware that Erika is going to check the room. So taking Hideyoshi's body out will make Erika to lose some clues and she will be unable to check the body. So that would make Eva and Hideyoshi being together in this and trying to hide things from Erika, the detective.
だからダメ。ここへ主人を一人ぼっちで残していくなんて絶対ダメ。
Eva did have a point. After all, the prior victims were all carried away after we were shown their terrible and fatal wounds.
エリカちゃん、現場をそのままで保存したいだろうが、今回はちょいと折れてもらうぜ。
Huh? What will you say?
どうぞご勝手に。
Interesting! She actually agreed to that. Huh.
私にとって興味があるのは金蔵さんの書斎よりはるかにまともな密室が出現したことだけです。死体には興味ありませんのでどうぞご自由になさってください。
Interesting you say that, because corpse is probably the most important clue in the room. Huh. Butter looked at her with the expression of clear disgust, but it rolled off her like water off the duck bag.
搬出していただいて結構ですよ、死体。あ、それとも私が邪魔ですか？
Rika blocked away from the door to open the path. There was no trace of any sadness for the dead. Her eyes simply blazed at the thought of the locked room murder that had appeared. Also, if Rika agrees to that, it's not necessarily mean like if we go with my like thoughts that I don't know if can actually happen, that detective is helping culprit in some way. That would mean like Hideyoshi, Eva and Rika are one in this, so she's letting them taking out corpse of Hideyoshi, and she knows that he's alive. I know, I'm kinda like, but you know, this is like thought process of like current situation. We'll have like deeper analytics like later. And every Fury is fun Fury. It's good to have fun in Umineko. Like, you cannot be too serious about Umineko. You need to like have some like smart bombs Furies. In any event, the great detective had given the permission. Eva and some others wrapped Hitoshi's body up in the sheets, and Goda and Rudolph started to carry him out. The sheets quickly turned red. It was so painful to see that Shan and Kumasawa stripped the blanket off the bed to further cover the body.
ほら、起き上がれ。
え、どいてますよ。
100枚運ぼう。
はい。
あなたあなた
Once again, we have Eva in the state, the same as in the episode 3. Is she losing Hideyoshi in every episode? Yeah, I think she does. That might be a clue,
いいこと
in general. To like the true path, as I said before. Like the true path that we are not aware of.
これからは常に団体行動よ。絶対に孤立してはダメ。
犯人は源氏さんを襲った時点でマスターキーを得ているはずだ。
Yeah, like I said, like it's possibility that the culprit already had the master key from Genji, or it's Goda.
世情がもはや安全を保証しないことは明白だぜ。
しかしチェーンまでされていたのにどう
Yeah,
やって
I wonder if they will be able to actually explain this in like sense of someone entering the room and leaving the room, because that would help me with second twilight of episode 1. I wonder if they will like actually make a reason out of this.
不可能だ。鎧戸もチェーンロックもしっかりかかっていた。マスターキーがあったって。あの部屋
I'm
の
very
押し入れに
curious what they will make out of this.
とベアトリーチェ様の仕業ですよ。
Yeah, sure. Good actor, yeah. Good job, Kumasawa.
ベアトリーチェ様のはずありません。
Okay, Sharon believing in the kind Beatrice, so it's pretty much the same as she's like in the episode 3, I believe.
碑文は解かれ、すでに儀式の意味は失われたはず。
わかるものか。こんなの魔女にしか不可能だ。
魔女にしか不可能。グッ
Okay.
といい響きです。
エリカちゃん 話を聞いてる？
Yeah, pretty much.
私たちはこれから全体行動って決まったわ。私たちはまず秀吉さんの遺体を客間へ運ぶ。探偵ごっこはそれからにしない？
Yeah, that... And this is the place where Natsuki can actually leave the room. When she heard the words playing detective, Erika grimaced visibly. Yeah. Then after everyone had filled out, she took a single step into the now empty guest room, looked around and burned the scene into her eyes. Erika claimed to have the photographic memory. If that was true, those few seconds were more than enough for her. Later on, she could sip black tea in the parlor while pursuing her mental photographs of the crime scene. And enjoying playing the part of the armchair detective. Huh. Once again, the armchair detective. We had mentioned like 2 episodes ago, I think, and in the episode 3, I believe, or 2, somewhere around there. Then suddenly, her eyes stopped on the closet of the side. Oh yeah, the closet. A closet for hanging overcoats. If it was large enough to fit a coat on a hanger, a person should be able to hide in it. Slowly, Erika stretched her hand out towards the closet. Erika's shoulder was grabbed roughly from behind. Oh, he didn't let her. You know what's the problem here? Butler will sound like someone who's involved with the culprit now. Because if someone's hiding in the closet, he just helped the culprit. That's what be the reasoning of Erika. What was that? What? Whenever I go traveling, someone always dies? Is this a reference to something? I don't know. Rudolph told them to hurry. After clicking her tongue and glared at the closet, Erika followed Butler back to the parlor for the time being. Yeah, she realized that Natsuki was not with them at all. The sound of their footsteps finally faded. That time of terror, when I feared that even the dripping of the cold sweat that covered my cheeks might have been noticed, was finally over. Yeah, Natsuki is like in the worst possible position now. I slowly opened the door, the closed door, with hands that still couldn't stop trembling, and dashed out into the hallway. It's alright, no one found me. Still, it's a good thing they didn't lock the door. If they had, I wouldn't be able to lock behind me after I left, and they would find that suspicious. They will find that suspicious anyway. Anyway, I should leave the place. You should probably go back to your room and close the door and pretend to be asleep or something. When I will return to my room and pretend that I was sleeping the whole time. Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Natsuki, for thinking the same. That's right, I have to get back quickly. A new murder has occurred. They'll probably try to tell me about it. And they will probably do it immediately after they carry Hideyoshi's body back to the parlor. I can get around a phone call by saying I was asleep and didn't notice, but if they come back knocking directly, it will be bad. I have to get back quickly, before they try to force their way in. It's also possible that Erika already checked that, because she checked the shutters already, as she said, and she could as well check out if Natsuki's in the room in the meantime. I don't even know whenever I should sprint back noisily to save every second I can, sneak back with hushed footsteps, or walk normally, as though I don't know anything has happened. The one thing I'm certain of is that I have to avoid bumping into them on the way back to the parlor. I have to get to my room at a quick pace, without being noticed by anyone. She's so going to be noticed. I passed through the hall to the lobby. Once I've ascended to the main staircase in lobby, I'll be almost there.
夏日さん
I fucking knew this! I fucking knew this! The freaking Erika! Yeah! Sneaking around, are you? As she was about to get up to the large staircase, Natsuki heard Erika call out to her. And was so surprised that she visibly jumped.
ちょうど今からあなたにも知らせに行こうと思ってたんです。
Yeah! And you are kinda on the bad floor.
それはありがとうございます。
You should ask what? Tell me.
それで何かありましたか？
今、夏日さん
Yeah,
階段を登ってました？
yeah. Natsuki, you should just say, no, I was going down actually. But that would be like suspicious as well because Erika was up. Also, why she's alone? Excuse me, like you agreed to be in group? Erika breaking rules again. That freaking cheater. I mean, she's a detective. She can like do whatever she wants, I guess.
夏日さんの部屋って上ですよね。
Erika coldly pointed out the strange fact. Natsuki cursed her bad luck.
寝つけなくて客間に戻ろうとしていたのですが、自分の部屋に鍵をかけたか不安になり戻ろうとしたのです。心配性なのでよくあることです。気にしないでください。
That's a good save, actually.
そういうの。記憶力に自信のない人にありがちな癖です。
Erika was clearly making fun of her, and Natsuki might have put an annoyed expression under normal circumstances. However, right now, Natsuki was extremely relieved to hear Erika admit that this was nothing out of the ordinary.
エリカさんこそお一人でどうしたんですか？
例の客室を調べようかと思いまして。
Actually, this is very... This one. Why you're by yourself, Erika-san? This is one... This sentence will make Erika very suspicious. Because there's no way that Natsuki would know that they should walk in the group. She could say that only if she's aware of that rule that they just put on themselves. That was a mistake from Natsuki's side. I thought I might examine the guest room. Yeah.
客室？
え、大変なことになったじゃないですか。現場検証は私の権利ですので。
Erika's probing gaze peered deep into Natsuki's eyes. She could tell. Erika was already suspicious of Natsuki. Judging by the subtle nuances of her words, this was almost certainly an attempt to make Natsuki slip up and reveal that she knew about the Hideyoshi murder she hadn't yet been told about. Natsuki played dumb and asked, again, what had happened.
何か？
いいえ、何でも。また最初の事件の繰り返しですね。
どういう意味ですか？
またあなたは自室で。
Yeah.
そして今回もそのアリバイを証明できないわけですよね。
おっしゃっている意味がわかりません。逆を言えば、私が自室にいなかったことをあなたこそどう証明されるわけですか？
おや、そうきましたか。ならばそれはおいおい。
Okay.
鍵は後にしてください。
What about your lock later?
皆さんに重大な話があります。
鍵を確認したら戻ります。先に始めていてください。
秀吉さんが殺されました。その件についてです。
She planned on escaping on her own room using her lock as an excuse, claiming to have sudden headache and staying in bed for the rest of the time. However, now she'd been informed of Hideyoshi's murder. It would be clearly suspicious to say that could wait and escape to her room. She was already under suspicion after being seen heading up the stairs to the second floor. She couldn't afford to do anything else suspicious. Natsuki gave up and headed for the parlor as Erika had asked her to do. When she opened the door, the parlor, Eva's sobs poured out. And everyone stared at Natsuki with grave faces. Those gazes almost made it look as though they already suspected her. It was now painfully apparent to Natsuki. This must have been what that man was after. It was a trap to create a baffling clock through murder and frame her for it. Yep, just as I said like 2 episodes ago, that was like the most obvious choice that would be here. That was simple. But I couldn't disobey. I couldn't sacrifice my husband's life. And while it's true that I was hiding in the closet, that was all. I haven't committed murder. I might fall under enormous suspicion, but I'm still not a culprit. And most importantly, I'm not under suspicion yet. I will tell the police everything. I will have to endure until then. I'm sure one of the servants is feeding information to the culprit. Even in a situation like this, if I talk about my husband being hostage, the culprit will hear and it might be used as an excuse to kill him.
ちょうど夏日さんが戻ってきてくれました。
Yep, Natsuki just came back. And we'll see what he will have to say in the next episode actually, because it's actually 1 hour now. And I think like next sequence will be pretty long, because this will be probably the tip menu we'll get from the beginning of the game, and we'll have like further conversation after this. So Butler might actually come back to the game. Let's see, is that Hideyoshi? There he is. Piece for the back with demon stake. Typically for his lungs because he was lying face down. So that might be ruled out. Okay. So yeah, that'll be it for this episode. I had like very like I had fun making like thoughts during this episodes, and like during this episode, and like little like parts of the theories. I like it. I enjoy making like little theories about Umineko, even if they're like wrong, probably for most of the time. But it's still fun because they make me think and give me like some tips for what's actually happening, because the more stuff I can think about, the more possibilities I get, and then I can like cool it out to make the most viable ones just being left. So yeah, that will be it for this episode. So yeah, thank you for joining for this episode, for being with me, for listening to this episode, and I will see you in the next one. So thank you once again for your support and for our Pocket Watch. It's going out.